What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Boozer here. Thanks for stopping by. Today's video, we are on the test server here, and we're going to be taking a sneak peek at one of the brand new champions in this game from the Sylvan Watchers. It's going to be Vestele. Vestele, Riverthorn. I love the aesthetic on this champion. I think she looks absolutely amazing. And she has a very interesting kit as well. So we're going to be playtesting her in a bunch of content here and see how well she performs. Let's hop over to her stats here real quick. Very strong base attack, 1729. She is a attack based damage dealer. She has magic affinity, 103 base speed with 63 boosted crit damage here, so we know she means business. Let's check out her kit here real quick. A1 attacks one enemy twice. Before attacking, has a 50% chance of removing all buffs from the target. That's freaking huge. And then has a 100% chance to steal all the buffs instead if this skill is not used on her turn. So ally attack, counter attacks, join in attacks, etc. Right? This effect cannot be resisted by targets whose attack is equal to or lower than this champion. So if you have plus attack on her, her attack's going to be very high. But even if you don't have plus attack, her base attack plus all the attack stats you're going to put on her probably gives her higher attack than most champions anyways. And then lastly, will ignore 5% of the target's defense for each buff on this champion. So she has a steal buff on her ability so that she can boost up the damage. If not, she has actual buffs in her kit as well. Very strong A1, to be honest. Let's check out her A2 here. Erosive Force. 5-turn cooldown, books down to 4 turns. Attacks one enemy. Before attacking, places increased attack, shatter on herself, will ignore, block damage, and stone skin. So shatter gives you extra 15% ignore defense. And then she's going to ignore block damage and stone skin. This is absolutely amazing. Grants an extra turn if this attack kills an enemy. If the target survives, fills the turn meter of all allies, not just herself, by 30%. It's a huge ability. Gives you a little bit of insurance if you can't kill that enemy off. The A3 here, Melt Water Flood, 6-turn cooldown, books down to 4 turns. AoE attack before attacking, places weaken on all enemies. This debuff cannot be resisted by targets whose attack is equal to or lower than this champion. Again, that's going to happen very often. Will ignore 25% of each target's defense. That's just unconditional. Places an extra hit on enemies whose attack is equal to or lower than this champion. So you get a double hit AoE that ignores 25% of the target's defense, and then you have a chance of landing the weaken as well. And look, it's irresistible by lower attack targets. And then she also plays unkillable and counterattack on herself. Unfortunately, these are not protected or anything like that, but it does give her a little bit of extra insurance to stay alive. It's on a 4-turn cooldown. It's a big ability as well. And let's check out her passive here. Student of Glaciate has a 50% chance to deal 100% more damage against enemies whose attack is equal to or lower than this champion. So a 50% chance to basically double your damage. That's pretty nuts. A little bit of RNG there. This champion receives 30% less damage from enemies whose attack is equal to or lower than this champion. So she has a lot of conditional effects that really elevate her kit, mainly against enemies with lower attack. It really helps that she has crazy base attack, so then you can easily scale up her attack. And then she comes with attack in arena battles only. Really nice to see a very strong Sylvan Watcher damage dealer, at least on paper. We'll test her out and see how well she does. Alright guys, let's do our damage test here in Dragon. We did test our Wukong a little bit earlier, so I will be showing you guys the gear on the Wukong. It's somewhat comparable to what we have on Vestele. You guys can kind of, make a rough judgment, and then we can also kind of narrow down what her multipliers would be, just using Wukong's multipliers as a kind of baseline. Since we had no doula in the base test with Wukong, I'm just going to leave her here. It doesn't really affect anything because she has an accuracy aura and she does not bring anything to boost damage. We do have Helm Smasher off both of Wukong and Vestele, so there's no RNG here. There is RNG from her passive, unfortunately. There's a 50% chance to deal 100% more damage. So we're going to have to deal a couple of rounds of attacks just to get a baseline average to see what she can do. Let's test out her A1 first. So this has that steal ability and then 5% ignore defense. It is a double hit. And right now she does have stone skin on, so she's going to ignore 5% of the target's defense. So I'm just going to attack this Venus, which is our single target all the time. So let's see what she can do. So not very strong there. So with 5% ignore defense, it's hitting about 28,000. So we can put 28,000, 5%. And then we can move on to the next test there. Actually, we probably should test the A1 a little bit more just because of the 50% chance to deal 100% more damage. So we're going to do a couple just to get an average here. That one looks about the same. Yeah, 29,000. Again, we'll go in again. Let's test this out a little bit more thoroughly. 14 and 13, again, very similar to the first hit. Let's try again. 13 and 12, a little bit on the lower side, but still probably within range. So about 25 to 28. Try again to A1, 28-ish. So maybe we had some procs of her passive going off. So that's definitely possible. Now let's try again. There's no real outliers here. So it's between 25 and 28. There we go. That one's a little bit of a lower one. So 25 there. All right, let's test out the A2 here. Now, the A2 is a little bit tricky to test because it does have increased attack and shatter. These are buffs that Wukong did not have when attacking, but based on how much damage she can do, then we can kind of decipher what kind of multiplier she's actually bringing with this A2. Let's see what it can do here against the Venus again. And 81,000. Okay, let's try again. We have to do it a couple times just because the passive adds some RNG. I'm going to try again. A2, 81, 78, 81, 78. Try again. 78, very consistent. Try it again. 73. Okay, so we must have hit the top end there. So 73 to 81. And then the 81 is definitely with the 50% proc, right? So we'll just write passive. So now we know that part. And now let's test out the A3. All right, in here for the A3, let's check it out. So the A3, it's going to be attack all enemies, has a chance to place weaken. Now this is a little bit, let's see. I'm pretty sure we'll land weaken on everybody. But if there's a chance that weaken doesn't land, then it's going to mess some stuff up. And I'm pretty sure she's going to double hit against everybody. So yeah, we're just going to have to do this test a couple times and then just take a rough average here. So, okay. So 205. Try it again. Make sure we visually see all the weakens. Yep, they all land. So 205, 211. Pretty consistent so far. Test again. Okay, all the weekends. 201. So 201 to 211 so far. And 201 to 11. 192. Okay, so that's probably one of the lower ones, 211k. I believe the passive should work for each individual hit. So yeah, so each individual champion that takes the damage will have this kind of 50% chance applied. So it's just a lot of RNG for the extra damage there. So let me try one more time. And 204. Yeah, so somewhere around this range, 192 to 211. So let's evaluate what we can about the numbers that we see so far. So what I can tell so far is Vestele's A1 is probably a bit of a smaller multiplier than Wukong's 3.5. Just because she does bring the extra 5% ignore defense damage, and her damage numbers was similar to Wukong. So her base multiplier is probably somewhere around 3.3. That would be my guess. And then that makes sense because they balance it around her getting buffs. And her A1 is actually very, very strong because she does have other abilities with her A1. So that makes sense that it's balanced that way. Now the A2, it's going to be a single target hit, right? And we see that it's significantly weaker than the A2 from Wukong, but the Wukong does have 50% ignore defense. Vestele is still bringing the ignore defense from the shatter buff, so that's 15% ignore defense. And she's also bringing increased attack as well, but her damage is just not very, very powerful on the A2. Again, totally makes sense. This A2 is super, super strong because it goes through block damage and stone skin, and it grants you an extra turn, and it also has conditional benefits as well. So I would say this is probably much weaker than the 5x, maybe like somewhere like 4.5x maybe. For a single target attack, it's quite weak in terms of overall multiplier, but she does have crazy base attack, so they have to balance around that. And this ability is just crazy. She offers self buffs, ignore defense, block damage, ignore, stone skin, ignore. So it makes sense that it's just, a little bit weaker on the multipliers. And then her A3 here, it's going to be the AoE, right? And the weaken is applied to everybody, and she's getting the double hits off, but you can kind of tell that Wukong's single hit AoE at 3.8x multiplier is doing 155k already. So, in my opinion, her AoE attack is probably somewhere around half of this. I wouldn't be surprised if it was somewhere around 2x multiplier, just because it's a crazy ability, already places weaken and all that stuff. And even though she's double hitting, it's only slightly higher than Wukong's single hit. So she has a lot of extra benefits over Wukong's just standard kind of AoE attack. Like I said, the weaken boosts the damage as well. And she has ignore defense in this ability as well. But the damage is just not really crazy. But obviously, they're trying to balance around the extra hit. They're trying to balance around the weaken and all that stuff. But you can kind of see the damage overall is actually quite good. But all these conditions have to land. That's the thing, right? Anyways, guys, so that's going to be the quick damage test here. I think she has a very, very good damage output. This is the build I have on her right now. She's got just under 8k attack, just under 300 speed, 272 crit damage, a little bit shy. I did go light on the accuracy. She doesn't really need it at all. Pretty much like 99% of champions, she'll have more attack than with 8k attack. Not always the case, of course, but for the most part, yes. In terms of the Wukong, I just want to show you guys the Wukong just for completeness. The Wukong doesn't have as crazy attack, so about 600 short attack, but the Wukong does have 30, yeah, about 40% more crit damage. So you guys can kind of make your judgment call there. I think, in terms of trying to compare the multipliers against each other, I think it's about accurate. And we didn't have Helm Smasher on the Wukong, and we didn't have Helm Smasher on Vestele. But now I'm going to put Helm Smasher on, and then we are going to take her into the arena afterwards. I don't have a blessing on her. I don't have a relic on her, so she's not juiced up to the gills. This is more of a out of the box kind of Vestele build. But definitely you can put any kind of relic on her for additional damage. Probably recommend, honestly, like the wand, so that she doesn't get controlled so easily. Her kit basically has no form of control protection. So definitely the wand definitely helps. Any kind of damage will help as well. As for a blessing, I definitely recommend Lightning Cage. She does have self buffs, and you don't want those stripped off. She does have unkillable counterattack. You don't want those stripped off. So Lightning Cage gets a lot of value for her. For the masteries, I did go for double counterattack because her A1 is super, super strong. I did go for Shield Breaker because she has no, shield bonuses or anything like that. Went for the extra kill, extra damage on first hit because she does have a kill mechanic on her A2. She does gain quite a bit of value from the lasting gifts because she lands 4 buffs on herself. So getting an extra turn does kind of make sense. But she doesn't really gain too much more from the support build or support tree. So I didn't go down the support tree here. So I went down the defense tree instead. These are not really great. I mean, reducing a little bit of damage from crits. If she gets crit by a damage deal, she's probably dead. You can kind of see here her total stats not super great. Low HP. Yeah, pretty low defense too. And yeah, just basically a glass cannon, right? She does have a passive that mitigates some damage, but she has such low effective HP that she's just gonna roll over to any kind of real damage dealer. All right, let's bring her into some content and see how her abilities fare in the real world, I guess. All right, so we are protected from all this debuff shenanigans. Lock them out. And we do have increased attack, and we are protecting ourselves with more buffs. So her A1's going to hit pretty hard here. She's got extra 5 buffs. Let's try the A1. There's a 100% chance to steal all buffs. Let's try to steal the buff from Gizmat here. So let's try. 1 time speed, and did it work? Nope. Nope. Still, has that stone skin, still 50% protected, even if irresistible. All right, and she's down. So, she dies pretty easily there, but that's okay. We're just testing out the A1. Let's see what else we can do. Try again. Okay, we are protected. Okay. Buff up. All right, so let's check out the single target kill mechanic here. Can we kill this Gizmat through the stone skin? All right, so no affinity advantage or anything like that. One-time speed. Can we do it? We do have plus attack, but we do buff ourselves anyways. And we're going to get the shatter buff. And wow, 240,000 damage. Oh my goodness. And you get an extra turn right away. Can we do it? Weaken and then extra hit against low attack minions. Oh, 300k against that Sulfurion. Yeah, she can hit. She can hit, guys. She can definitely hit. Interesting. Okay, let's try somebody else. Unfortunately, there's a lot of really strong Force Affinity champions, and being magic is a little bit of a negative. I'm not gonna lie about that. It's a little bit of a negative. Let's see if we can outspeed this team. Otherwise, we're gonna get locked out, and it's probably gonna be a bad time. Let's see. Yes, we do outspeed them. Stone Skin is off. All right. Plus attack. Plus attack's not really needed because she can plus her attack herself. But then we did just go for the turn meter stuff. All right. So through Stone Skin with the shatter buff, one-time speed. Can we kill this Marius? 233k, and then the AoE slam, and everybody's dead instantly. 200k slam against that Suzanne. Crazy damage. Actually crazy. Like, we have no relic, we have no blessing. Actually crazy. Okay, let's try against this team. It's gonna be tough. We will go first. We do have ignore block damage on her A2. But we're facing a bunch of Force Affinity guys, so that kind of sucks. All right, let's see how we do here. Single target. So we remove some buffs, lock them out, kind of. Okay. Got the reset. All right, so it's our turn. We might weak hit against this Galthier, unfortunately. So that's a little bit of a problem. Let's see how the interaction happens with the Niemi here. I think she was protected. Maybe aspect of Suroth, maybe? Let's just go back in there and try again. All right. Back in. Let's see. Resets happening. All right, let's guarantee the kill here. Actually, the Predator is going to be hard. We can't kill Galathir because of the passive, and then Aspect of Suroth on the Niemi, which is kind of annoying. So let's go after the Crixia, and boom, she's dead. 200, almost 200k, and then we don't have any kind of ignore defense or anything like that. We do place unkillable and counterattack on ourselves. Let's try that, okay? That has some value as well. Okay. Okay, we do have that unconditional steal. I wonder if that's going to work out for us. Whoa, look at that steal buff. The steal buff worked. And then the A1 killed her off. Let's try this one. Nope. Anything? Okay. Steal buff on Galthier? Oh, man, we did steal some buffs. We do have the unkillable still on her. Oh, we got it stripped off. Oh, no. Wow, that was actually pretty interesting, actually. Her A1 is ridiculously strong. A1 is ridiculously strong. All right, let's try this team out. We do have Terminator boost. It's going to be weak against the Solinar here. Okay, Terminator boost. Okay, so does it make sense to use this? Extra hit. We'd probably just kill everybody here. Let's try the A3 to open. See how that's gonna work out here. Okay, everybody's dead. And then we have the steal ability potentially. Does have affinity issues. Oh, baby, we stole everything. Oh my god. The A1 is so good. The A1 is so good. My goodness. The A1 is so good. We're going to see Solinar come back here, so increase attack, shatter, stone skin. We'll probably save this. Save this, right? See if we can steal some of her stuff. No, one A1 is 100k hit. Oh, the magma shield got petrified off. That's pretty nasty. Not gonna lie, that's pretty nasty here. And yeah, her A1's gonna hit super hard because she has so many buffs. She has so many buffs. Premier boost, and then that's it. Yeah, she's gonna hit super hard because of all the buffs on the A1. Wow, nice. That A1 is super powerful. All right, let's try again. Especially with it being irresistible, you don't need the accuracy check. Yeah, that's really strong. Let's try this team. Try this team. We're probably gonna get outsped. Let's see if we get outsped here. Yeah, for sure. It's Marichka's faster than my fastest champion. It's just wild. All right, we got it in. We got it in here. Gonna go for the reset. All right, let's see who we can kill. Actually, we have to kill Marichka first, right? Actually, we can go right into the extra turn. Sure, let's go right into the extra turn. Ooh, 91k. Not crazy damage, but that Marichka is probably juiced up. The nice is dead. Oh, man. Oh, my goodness. Big hit here. Gotta petrify him, otherwise we're gonna die. Nice is just too crazy. Too crazy. All right. Oh my goodness, we couldn't kill him off. Shatter, increase attack, and everything on the A2. Oh my goodness. Nice is just too crazy. Oh my goodness, look how much damage he's taking. All right, there we go. Finish him off the A1. Oh my goodness. Oh, he has that relic that stops you from critting. He has that mythical relic that stopped you from critting. You notice that Vestele there didn't crit on her last A1 hit against that nice. Yeah, just just a little, just pretty balanced champion. That's all. No big deal. Let's move on. All right, let's bring him in against this YST team. Now, there's going to be some Harima shenanigans here, and also not the best affinity for our magic damage dealer. But yeah, let's see what we can do. So, kill Marichka first, I guess. Boom, 92k. And then let's do this. Oh man, that's it. That's it. Even with Harima there, oh my goodness, that's it. It's a lot of damage. She can definitely pump out quite a bit of damage. Keeping her alive is obviously the big problem. Let's try Nubs' team. I think we played this team already. Yes, we did play this team already. But let's try it one more time against the Solinar team. Man, love to see that Arbade get totally stripped off. That was ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Let's try the A2 to try to kill the Arbades. Yep, 275k through the Stone Skin, and then right into this ability. Oh, the Mercurial set prevented the steals from happening. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. Can we kill? Nope, not quite. Oh, she did some shenanigans there too. Oh, she stripped off all her buffs. Yeah, that's what happened. Dang. Mmm. Mm-mm-mm. All right, all right. Making a little bit of A little bit of a fight here. Solinar's passive actually dealing damage to us too. So instead of the heals, we're not getting the heals anymore. We're getting the damage instead. So very interesting. This Solinar is very, very strong. And he does have the partner bonus right now as well. Kill him off because he's annoying. And we will shut you down. Oh, darn. The Mercurial set again. Okay, let's kill you. There we go. Right into an extra turn. Kill everybody. And now we get Solinar back. And then the counterattacks gets him. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, the shield from him actually goes down relatively quickly, unfortunately. Or it can be removed. Actually, it's protected, right? Because no duelers there. So it's protected. I don't know how come the shield went down so quickly. But yeah, Vestele is just going crazy against these teams. Now, she has a really strong kit, right, to deal damage, but she needs the right supporting team around her, kind of bring out the best. I think we're gonna sub out the Arbiter for somebody else just to give us a little bit more staying power against this team. This team is just ridiculous. So we're just gonna find something else. All right, let's bring Donnie in here just for a little bit of insurance. We don't really need the Termir boost or the plus attack from Arbiter. Well, we got 3 resist. three resisted. Oh my goodness. That's gonna be a tough time. Tough time, guys. All right, through the stone skin, let's go. Oh, just stayed alive. Just enough. I'm gonna have to try again. Triple resisted. Wild. All right, so this ability, counterattack and unkillable. Let me try to steal some of her stuff. Let's try. Oh my goodness. There we go. There we go. No affinity issues there. Uh-oh. Almost died. Donnie saved her there. Nope. Weak hitting. Oh. Oh, look at that A1 popping off. That A1 was popping off there. All right, through the block damage. There we go. You're dead. Oh my goodness, it actually worked. I guess we'll just save the AoE. Oh, removing all the buffs. I think she is impressive. I think she is impressive. Look at this A1. The A1 is super strong. Now she's gonna die here, but the A1 is super strong, especially with the counterattack. Especially with the counterattack. I think she can definitely be like a really powerful damage dealer for the right team. Anyways, guys, so that's going to be a Vestele here, Riverthorn from the Sylvan Watchers. I mean, that's a pretty good showcase. I'm impressed with her overall damage. I think it's quite strong. I think she does have a kit that can provide enough damage to, take down some of these really, really strong teams. Like the strip on the A1 is very powerful. She gets stronger as she steals the buffs. She self-buffs herself. She gets an extra turn mechanic. She has double hit AoE, unkillable, counterattack, and all that stuff. I think her passive, the passive damage mitigation is probably the weakest part about her kit because even though she takes less damage, she's still going to die anyways. But this also 50% chance to double her damage is actually just insane as a passive. So I think overall she does bring enough firepower to, some teams to take down some of these bigger teams. Check out the total stats here. They're good end game stats and all that. We don't have a blessing, we don't have a relic and all that. So yeah, there we go. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this showcase for Vestele Riverthorn. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think about her. Like I said, she looks amazing. I would love to get her. She's a non-void champion, so there's she's in the pool of a couple hundred, but hopefully there'll maybe be some kind of event for her. I don't know, no idea. But that would be great if there was. Anyways, guys, let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching until the end, and I'll see you guys in the next video.